Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the JavaScript Masterclass for beginner. So in the previous video, we have already discussed about script tag, like how we write JavaScript code under a script tag in our HTML or not in inner HTML, like in HTML page, in header and in body under the body tag using the script tag. And also I have show you like I already show you how we can create an external script JavaScript file and import it into the HTML. And using that also I have already shown you how to change any element or how to show hide any element using the JavaScript. So today we will be discussing about the JavaScript output. So why JavaScript output? Output is basically the display possibilities. So JavaScript can display data in different way. Okay. So it can be using inner HTML or inner text or output. We can write into HTML output using document.write function, first bracket open close, writing into an alert box using windows.alert, and writing into a browser console using console.log function. So for an example, like how to get that output using inner HTML. Okay, to access the inner HTML, we have to use document dot get element by ID, and whatever the ID I have mentioned, I have already shown you whatever the ID I have mentioned here. The same ID name should be there under that function name. Document under the document dot get element by ID method. Okay, so then use the inner HTML property to change the HTML content of an HTML element. So I have already shown you this one. Okay, so the same procedure, this using the same function, using the same Java document dot get element by ID, this using that document dot get element by ID, using that inner HTML, we are changing the element of a p tag or text of a p tag. So now go to the using inner text. Okay, so inner text is also same, like instead of get element by ID document, instead of inner HTML, simply I'll copy this one. Okay, and inner we can simply mention inner text, and this is the function, this is the text I want to change. So if I comment this one and if I run this, try it, calling from script.js external file. For better understanding, I'll just change the name, and if I try it, calling from script1.js external file. Okay, so this is how we can change any inner HTML file, inner HTML like content using JavaScript. Using in either inner HTML, you can call either inner HTML or you can call either inner text. Okay, so now using so the thing is like when we will use inner HTML and when we will use inner text, the main concept. So using inner HTML, when you want to change the HTML element means, suppose you have a p tag, okay, and you want this p tag to be in h2. Okay, got it. Let's suppose I have a p tag and I have mentioned using that inner HTML. Let me comment it out, and I have mentioned my text should be, or my HTML file should be like this one, hello world and HTML, sorry, H2 close. So now if we click on run and if we try it, you can see we have a H2 hello world. The hello world is because we have mentioned H2 here. Okay, so that's why I am getting this one, this font and this font size and this font weight. If I mention H1, we will get the output text should be more, font size is increased. So if we try it, you can see the font size is increased. So the main purpose of using the inner HTML is when we want to change the HTML element. Okay, now and when to use inner text, inner text is, we'll use the inner text when we want to change any HTML, not HTML, when we want to change any text, plain text. Like now currently we don't have any text, so let's put some text. So now we have a text, simple text, that is text, or a demo text. We have a simple text. So what I want to do, I want this text to be changed to calling from script1.js external file. So only for changing the text, simple text, we'll use inner text. So if I click on run and if we click on try it, we can see like the HTML element is same, the p tag is same, but the text has been changed from demo text to calling from script1.js external file. So if I inspect this one and if I show you, you can see the, see first, if I load, if I refresh this one, we have a same p tag. So now if I try it, you can see this text has been changed to whatever the text I have mentioned in the script.js file. So if I click on try it, you can see the p tag is same, the element is same. If by using the inner text, we are only changing the text file of that particular HTML element. So I'll show you the same in for inner HTML. As I have already told you, for inner HTML, we'll use inner HTML only when we want to change the HTML element. So for now, in the HTML index.html file, we have mentioned p as a p is our HTML element. So if we run this, we have the same one, demo test. Okay, so now let's go to the script.js. So I have mentioned on click, the inner HTML file should change from p tag to h1 tag. So as you can see in the console log or in the element, we have a p tag by default, but we didn't click on the try it button. So that's why it is showing the same. Once we click on the try it button, you can see we have a hello world. Like under the p tag, we have HTML element like h1 tag. Okay, this is how the inner HTML and inner text is working in the JavaScript. Now let's come to the document.write file. So for testing purpose, it is convenient to use the document.write. So let's suppose I have a function. Okay. Let's create it here only because we have already created a external file. Now I will be using the external file instead of doing an internal each script. So now I have a, I am mentioning document dot write document dot write. Okay, and I am mentioning like 10 plus 9. Okay, so what it will do? It will do after an HTML element. Okay, using the document.write after an HTML element is loaded, will delete all the existing HTML. So if we have already written that document.write 10 plus 9. Okay, so if I click on this, that's what it will come. That is 19. So what it done? It delete all the HTML content, like all the HTML content, and whatever the under the body, whatever we have mentioned, what we can JavaScript do, that is also gone. The p tag is also gone, and the button is also gone. So when we write when we are using document.write, so it will delete all the HTML element, and um, it will be like whatever the output you will be get, that output it will show into the JavaScript. Not only not in the JavaScript, in the HTML page. Okay, so it is only for the testing purpose. Document.write is only for the testing purpose. Basically, in JavaScript or creating any or while creating any web page, there is a minimum chance I will be using that JavaScript dot write function. Okay, so now come to the Windows dot alert. Okay, so we can see, like we already have seen that using alert we are getting a display, we are getting a pop-up. Okay, so if I click on run and if we try it, we are getting a pop-up. Okay, so using that Windows dot alert, so whatever the data it is there into the alert box, that will be shown. Like if I use Windows dot alert, and we will be getting 5 plus 9. So if I click on try it, not window, that is window dot alert. If I try it, so you are getting an output like 14. So, so if I put only alert, so you are getting also the 14. So basically in the JavaScript, Windows dot it is not required. So that keyword is not required. So for alerting, for showing any output data, you can just mention alert 5 plus 9, or you can mention alert at code path. Okay, so you can see the output. So Windows dot keyword is not required while you will be working on the any HTML or creating any web page. Okay, you can skip that one. That will not be a problem. So now coming to the console log. Console log. So what console log will do? It is basically we use for debugging purpose. Okay, so the debugging purpose is, I will show you. I will explain you later how to debug and what is the purpose of debug. That I will show tell you in the future session. Relation. Okay, so console log. So now in the previously we have used alert to show on to show the output in the browser. Okay, but what console log will do, it will work as same, but it will not show the output in the browser. It will show the output in the browser inspect element console log. So we already have opened that inspect like developer tool, and if you go to the console, let's remove this one, and if I type something like stack code path, and if I try it once, so we can see we get the output in the console log. So why we are using alert? Basically, the console log is the like if you want if you creating an website and in the local system you can use alert or console log, but suppose you have already worked on a website and all the customer is using that website in the production, you have to work on uh, for a particular page, like let's suppose index.html or index.php page. So in production, if you use alert, then the customer also show the alert or show the output or show the debugging output into the browser box, into the browser one. Okay, so instead of doing, if you are working directly on into the production, so better to use console log so that customer will show the website as it is, but you only show the error or show the issue or show the exact output into the console log. So whatever the error you are getting or which line you are getting the error, so using the console log, you will fix that bug and you are good to go with the production movement, or you are good to go for another release. So better to use console log instead of alert, because few of the developer I know, like few of the developer has mistakenly put alert into the function and they forget to remove the alert. Okay, so once it go to the production and customer is showing that alert pop up in each and every load or each and every time that function is calling. So better to use console log instead of alert. Okay, so this is the main thing of the JavaScript output, and we also have another output, that is JavaScript, not JavaScript in JavaScript, that is Windows.print. So Windows.print JavaScript has a by default print feature, which is Windows.print. Okay, so if we mention Windows.print, what it will do, if I try it, my mistake, that is window.print. So if we click on the try it, So it will print the output page. Output page means, as we can see, we have what can JavaScript do, demo test and try it. So it is actually printing the preview, means the output, means the page. So this is the code and this is our output preview. So if we are clicking on the try it button, JavaScript is printing that output page using that windows.print file. Okay, so this is the main purpose of JavaScript element, not a JavaScript element, JavaScript like output or using that function, whatever the function I have mentioned, document.get element by ID, the ID name, dot inner HTML, dot inner text, dot write. You can only mention alert instead of window.alert. You can use console.log every time while debugging any page or any code. For printing any page, you can just mention window.print. So this is the JavaScript output. Okay, so that's it for this video. If this helped, hit like and subscribe to join a community of people who are actively leveling up their skill every single day. See you in the next video. Happy coding.